First things first, there's going to be 2 stages. The Grand Tournament is divided to, technically, 3 stages. The first one being this draw show. Welcome everybody, once again. And of course, this is going to be over and done with by the end of the night. So, after that, we do have the group stage. Of course, the top 4 teams from each of these divisions have made it to the Grand Tournament. And as you can see, these are all 12 teams that are here. They will be put into 4 different groups. Each group cannot have the same team, cannot have 2 teams from the same division. And everyone will be pulled into 2 pools. Division winners and non-division winners. So, Group D is what everyone likes to call the group of life. Because whoever gets drawn into that group will avoid the Verge Titans, Espionage, and the Power Rangers. But do not think it's an easy road. We have so many teams here that could take it all. So many teams with the potential to just make a run all the way to the finals and snatch it away. As we see here, randomly drawn division champs are going to be drawn from Pool 1. All of the teams will be drawn from Pool 2. Each group stage consists of a Legends, Masters, and Warriors team. It will be a double round robin best of 1 with the top 2 teams moving on to the knockout stage. So, as long as you're not last place, you are good to go. Then, we have the knockout stage. 8-team, single elim, best of 3 fixed bracket. First seeded teams from the group stage will play a second seeded team, and the winner is the LAS Season 4 Grand Champion. Now, thanks to a miracle run by Empire Gaming, we do have defending champions this time around to try and see if they can hold onto their title, but we have to get into the draw show first. Before we get into finding out every little aspect, we need to figure out which of these Pool 1 teams are going to be heading groups A, B, and C. As I said prior, Group D is going to be the only group without a division winner. That is what we like to call the group of life. But the problem with that is, this time around, there are so many good teams. Chaos, Rawr, Direwolves. Like, you can look at all of these Pool 2 teams, and you can make an argument for everybody to make it out of that group. So, starting off, who is going to be heading Group A? Well, let's just find out. It's going to be Espionage. Espionage has been a very surprising team. They are veterans of the league. A lot of them have been around since Season 1. But Espionage has shown up this year. There is something different. They just hit different. Runners up in the pre-season tournament, winning out, beating their demons in the Direwolves to take the Masters Division champ title for themselves, getting their first banner up onto the website. Espionage is different this time around, and you gotta fear them if you're in that group. Now, going on to Group B, we have to figure out who is going to be heading that group between the Power Rangers or the Verge Titans. Of course, this is more of a formality, see where everyone just ends up landing. It's going to be the Power Rangers, a brand new team to the league, jumping straight into the Warriors division with some talented teams already in there. In Cogma, a cashed out gaming roster, or Cog Plutus, my bad. Cog Plutus, the home team that just dominated. Empire Gaming, defending champions, Huskers Black, all of these teams, yet Power Rangers came out on top. A new team dominating, dropping only 1 game in the regular season and taking home the Warriors division title. You can't count these guys out. You gotta watch out for them. You gotta watch out for a lot of people. But Power Rangers is just one of those teams that, one of the favorites to win it all, in my opinion. Now, with that, we do know who is going to be heading Group C. It is going to be the Verge Titans. The newest team of the Verge, and possibly the best team. Definitely the best performing team from the Verge esports organization. The Titans, made up of various players, now bringing back Pack with a short-lived retirement. Triton, snatched away from Cashed Out Gaming's team last season. This team has been a force to be reckoned with. In a 3-horse race in the Legends division, they ended up coming out on top with a monster comeback win in Game 3 of the finals to take the banner away from Chaos. This team, you can never count them out in a game, so why would you count them out in a grand tournament? That's all I gotta say about that. Now we get into the fun stuff. Now, who is going to dodge all 3 of these teams? We get into the Pool 2 teams. There are still 9 teams left, so we have to figure out who is going to be heading Group D and who is going to be avoiding all of these teams. We only have to wait a little bit longer, and it's going to be a fitting team, Empire Gaming, defending Grand Tournament champions. They had a rocky regular season. They had missed the playoffs. They made it thanks to a gauntlet run. However, that is what happened last time. It wasn't as bad this time as last time. Or it wasn't as bad. It was worse this time around than last time. But they are here. They know how to peak when Grand Tournament comes around. You can never count this team out. You can never count out the defending champions. This team has so much potential, and avoiding the likes of Power Rangers, Espionage, and Titans, the road to get out of the group stage is only much easier from there. Now, we get to see who is going first. Who is going to be our first pair in the group? And it's going to be Cog Plutus. Now, Cog Plutus they are the preseason champions, runners up in the Warriors division. They are a team to be reckoned with. You cannot deal with them easily. They will always put up a fight, and they will have to put up one hell of a fight against Espionage. This is going to be a really good matchup to see. We get to see this twice. I am so stoked to see Espionage and Cog Plutus face off against each other. This is going to be an amazing group. Now, I will reiterate one more time, as we get farther and farther in, we are going to be pulling teams that should be slotting into the same group as another team from their division. That can't happen. So we just move them over to the next available group, just like they do in Worlds. So we have to keep that in mind with any skipping. The next team is going to be the Direwolves. Dominant throughout the entire regular season. Kind of bummed out in the preseason, but showed up where it mattered in the regular season. Made it to the finals. Got second place in their division, losing out to Espionage. Espionage's first 2 wins over the Direwolves, by the way. You still can't count this team out. The Direwolves are super strong. They are very lethal. And the Power Rangers, they are going to have a real challenge on their hands. So will the Direwolves, and whoever comes out top of this group is going to be a team to watch, most definitely. Like I said, this is going to be banger of a grand tournament. I cannot wait to see all of these matches take place. And already, Group A and Group B have me hyped. We have 2 really strong matchups. But we have to see who this next team is going to be. Who is going to be pulled next. and it is going to be Roar. Team Roar bumming out in semifinals to Midnight Gaming Chaos, but they are one of the 3 horses in the Legends division. I feel like that division was entirely close for them, Chaos and the Titans, but we also have to keep in mind that they cannot go in Group C, so they get shunted over to Group D. Now for Empire Gaming, that's going to be quite the challenge. Roar won the Legends division last season, was the only Legends division team to make it out of groups last season. I personally don't think that's going to be the case, but Roar is a team you need to watch out for. This is going to be a good matchup. This is going to be a test to see if Empire Gaming can come out swinging in the Grand Tournament, or are they going to are they going to still lack momentum like they did on the back half of the regular season. But we still have 5 more teams we got to draw. We have to see who is going up next. And oh man, I can't wait. I can't wait. And it's going to be Midnight Gaming Chaos. Now, once again, Chaos cannot go in Group C. Titans are already there. They cannot go in Group D. Roar is already there. So they get pushed all the way over to Group A, and Group A is a banger, ladies and gentlemen. You have Midnight Gaming Chaos, you have Espionage, and you have Cog Plutus. Chaos had a few wins that were in the bag, but there were just a few small problems occurred, and their opponents took a mile. A split pushing Furora took one out, and the Titans, with their immaculate team fighting, took the finals game 3. I believe that Chaos, there are very few issues that are easily resolvable. So, once again, a force to be reckoned with. Just like this entirety of Group A, whoever doesn't make it out of Group A, it's going to be a travesty. It's going to be a travesty not to have them farther into the tournament. 4 teams left, 4 spots left. Who is going to get pulled next out of Pool 2? It's going to be Huskers Black, a returning team, a very surprising team coming in last season, taking a winless record, 4 games in. Very good sports. Grateful to have them. Can't thank them enough for what they did last season. Decided to stick around, and we love them for it. They are a force to be reckoned with. Playing against them last season, they were a really strong team, and I believe that they are still a really strong team. Just the Warriors division got bumped up immensely with Power Rangers and Cog Plutus showing up like never before. Against the Titans, it's going to be a challenge for both of these teams. Again, it's going to be a banger matchup to watch. You got 3 teams left, 3 spots left. Now, we have Eclipse. We have Apple Bottom Boys. And we have Kog'Maw. These are the 3 teams left that need to be slotted into these groups. Next up is going to be Midnight Gaming Eclipse. Really struggling throughout the regular season. Only finding their first win on the back half of the season. The second matchup around with their rival sister team, Rajin Storm. It is troubling. They managed to win out against Rajin Storm to make it to the Grand Tournament, but now, this is going to be a very tough group for Eclipse. You got Power Rangers and the Direwolves. It's not looking good, I am going to say the least. It is not looking good for Eclipse whatsoever, but you can't count them out just yet. It's the Grand Tournament. It's best of ones. Anything can happen. Anything is possible. Any given Sunday. You just gotta believe, baby. And I believe that Eclipse can put up a fight, at the very minimum. Next up, we got Apple Bottom Boys. Castor Rav hitting back up in the Grand Tournament, dropping to Espionage in the semifinals. It was a very good match. It was a very good match, and they're going to be slotted in with Huskers Black and the Verge Titans. Now this is going to be a banger for multiple more reasons. Apple Bottom Boys and Huskers Plaque were in groups together last season. So now these two teams are going to go back at it. Round 2 in the Grand Tournament between these teams. And now the Titans are thrown into the mix. I think that this group is definitely one to watch. You don't want to miss out any of these matchups in Groups A and Group C. Finally, we have one last team that gets slotted straight into Group D. It is going to be Kog'Maw, ladies and gentlemen. Kog'Maw, the second team of Cashed Out Gaming. Welcome, by the way, to Cashed Out Gaming being a full-fledged org in the LAS. This is going to be a very impressive... I can't wait. This group draw is amazing as a spectator. If you were a player, you are probably stressing your ass off. These are tough groups. This is no walk in the park for everybody. This is no walk in the park for anybody. You're going to have to fight. You're going to have to prove yourself. You're going to have to shed blood, sweat, and tears if you want to take home this grand tournament. And boy, I would not have it any other way. This is it, baby. Peak LAS talent going at it in the grand tournament. We have our groups. We have our matches. And I cannot wait to see how this all shapes out. Remember, top 2 teams from these groups will make it out into the knockout stage. All top teams in each group will play a second seed of a different group as well. They will only be able to meet their other group mate in the finals. So I cannot wait to see how this is all going to shape up. Teams to watch, you definitely have to talk about Empire Gaming. They are the defending champions. Can they bring that momentum back? We'll have to see. And basically, I can't pick other teams to watch. You gotta pick all of them. You have to pick all of them. This is going to be one of the best grand tournaments we have ever seen. We have amazing teams. We have amazing matchups. It's just exciting. I can't say anything else about it. It is just exciting. Now, do keep in mind that we don't have long between here and our first set of games. Sunday, ladies and gentlemen. Sunday, May 1st. Make sure you have your 5 solo queue games in for your checkpoint by midnight on Saturday. You have to make sure you get those in so you can play in the first round of games on Sunday. This is going to be amazing. You want everyone to be at full strength. You want everyone to be there. This is it. On behalf of the LAS, thank you for tuning in to the group draw. We'll hope to see you all on Monday, where we have the kickoff of one of the best grand tournaments the LAS has ever seen. Thank you all. Have a good night. We'll see you then. Peace.